your podcast station, bringing you the realest entertainment information, music, lifestyle, and truth and comedy shows around. This is Let's Talk. I don't count likes, calories, or blessings. I don't dine with snakes or bite my tongue. It is what it is. I am what I am. I am your host, Tony Williams. Welcome to all my new listeners and all of my day ones. Welcome once again to the show. This is Let's Talk, and I am your host, Tony Williams. This is the first part to a three-part series entitled Family Series. It's about the family. Now, this is part one, the family structure. And I know there are some who know about the family structure and some who think they have an idea, and then there are some who have questions. With things, pretty much changing all the time, yeah, sometimes things change and you might just have to go back over it. So that's what we're going to do today. This is for encouragement as well as inspiration. Here at One Radio, we want everyone to live a happy and healthy lifestyle. And so that means the entire family, because here we care about your health and well-being. So, part one, family structure. Now, as we all know, family is considered as one of the most important units of society because it contributes to raising children and, your place in adulthood. I guess it can be also referred to as the nuclear family. Now, it provides necessary forms of support that are significant to your, everything, every part of you. So the family is very important. Now, modern families might look a little different from the traditional stereotype of two-parent household. Understanding the different complexities at play in varying family structures, it can help explain some of the evident dynamics. Now, although these won't necessarily apply to every family, family dynamics differ not only because of family structure, but because of the personalities and, just the differences of being an individual, because everyone is not the same, even in the same family. Now, the following types of families exist today, with some families naturally falling into multiple categories. For example, a single-parent family who lives in a larger extended family. While these types of families are distinct in definition and practice, the lines are less obvious. It's less clear. As laws and the norms change, so do family structures. Now, speaking of nuclear family, what is a nuclear family if you don't know? The nuclear family is the traditional type of family structure. This family type consists of two parents and children. The nuclear family was long held and esteemed by society as being the ideal in which to raise children. Now, it's said that children in nuclear families receive strength and stability from two-parent structure and generally have more opportunities due to financial ease of two working adults being in the household. Now, every family is not set up that way, and that's fine. We also have the single-parent family, whether it's male or female. There are single-parent mothers as well as fathers. As a matter of fact, I came from a single-parent household, and it was my dad. My dad was the parent. He did everything. So we kind of fell into the single-parent family category. Now, the single-parent family consists of one parent raising one or more children on his or her own. This family may include a single mother with her children, or a single dad with his kids, or a single person with their kids. The single parent family is the biggest change society has seen in terms of the change in family structures. And it's going it's going to keep happening for so many different reasonings. Um, but that's just a part of life. And you deal with it and you go on. Now, you also have adopted. New parents might experience less stress when welcoming an adopted child to their family structure. Since the complicated adoptive process is over, they can kind of settle in and come up with their routine. Now, however, the realities of being a parent can also feel a bit overwhelming. Now, newly adopted children might feel lost or abandoned by their birth parents. But if welcomed into a happy family, the child might feel guilty about her conflicted feelings. And that's okay because it's something that does happen. And when a child is adopted into a good home, the parent or parents pretty much take up that slack and they reassure the child that they are loved, nonetheless. That no matter what happened for them to end up having to be adopted, it doesn't matter because they love them and that's all that matters to them. And they just want to see them grow up, be happy and healthy adults. Now, the next one is same sex. Now, this one is kind of controversial. There's a lot of people who believe in it, and there's a lot of people who do not. But nonetheless, it does fall in this category because, well, it's happening. Children who have same-sex parents, it states that it will not develop differently than children with different sex parents. Now, this is according to the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. It goes on to say that relationships with other adults and with peers will remain the same as children raised in more traditional family structures. Although they may face questions about their parents, they aren't more likely to be gay. It's just, that's a personal choice that everyone makes. And they make it, when they decide that that's what they want to do. So, same-sex couple marriage and child raising is now considered one of the family structures. Now, however your belief goes on the matter, well, that's up to you. Now, you guys can let me know how you feel about that. Let me know if it's something that I missed, or if you just would like to share your opinions and feelings or thoughts on that. But we'll continue. The next category is siblings. Now, there are a lot of siblings who are raising their siblings for whatever reason. And a lot of them are doing a great job, and I applaud them. Now, siblings play key roles in one another's lives. Sibling relationships grow more complex as they develop. Birth order can affect personality, pretty much as well as everything else. Now, it's been pointed out that firstborn children tend to be more successful and more loyal to the family. Siblings can help one another learn conflict resolution skills, especially when parents refrain from intervening except in serious disagreements. Now, that only applies when it's just, when the parents are involved. But if the parents are not, it's still going to end up, kind of being the same way. They're going to have to learn how to settle their differences, and they're going to learn conflict resolution. And a lot of them turn out really great. Now, fighting at home can correlate with fighting at school, though in certain cases, as parents age, siblings who have grown apart will sometimes reconnect over shared concerns. Having a sibling with a disability can cause some children to take on a positive role, while others experience bitterness or jealousy. But that's pretty much in any situation. And I've known some people who were raised by their older sister or their older brother because Their parents maybe were incarcerated or were on drugs, or they even, had passed away. And their siblings, stepped up and did what they had to do to take care of their family. And I applaud them. Again, I say that continuously. I applaud them because it's not an easy task, but the love and devotion that you have for your siblings will help you make that decision to do so if the time comes. And I mean, you're still learning and you're growing. So when those siblings do actually have children of their own, they actually can be, better parents. Now, that part is my opinion on that. But, anywho, moving along. Now, we also have the extended family. Now, the extended family structure consists of 2 or more adults who are related, either by blood or even marriage, living in the same home. This family includes many relatives living together and working towards common goals, such as raising the children and keeping up with the household duties. Many extended families include or can include cousins, aunts, or uncles, and grandparents all living together. Now, this type of family structure may form due to financial difficulties or because older relatives are unable to care for themselves alone. Or some families just choose this because they feel better all being in the same home. And that can have its perks as well as disadvantages. But that's for the third part of this series, so I'll leave that there. But extended families are becoming increasingly common all over the world. And kudos to you all as well, because it takes a little bit to do that. But as I said with the siblings, if you have that love and, caring spirit and giving heart, and you want to stay well bonded with your family, that's one option. I mean, it can save on finances and other things like that, and it could be a big help to one another. Families have been doing that for years upon years. So that's really nothing new. For some it may be, but for a lot of us, we know families that have done this, and they work out just great. Now, our next structured family is step family. Now, I know this term may be new to some. Over half of all marriages, the statistic says, ends in divorce. And many of these individuals choose to get remarried. This creates the step of blended family, which involves 2 separate families merging into one new unit. It consists of a new husband, wife, or spouse and their children from previous marriages or relationships. Step families are about as common as the nuclear family. And that seems pretty well on point, because seeing as a lot of people believe that most marriages, or at least half of them, do end in divorce, and people do move on. And that may take a little work and a little effort to do, but it is doable. So kudos to you guys as well, and keep up the great work. Now, another family structure we have is the grandparent family. A lot of children are raised by their grandparents. And that can be a great thing for them as well as the grandparents. Now, many grandparents today are raising their grandchildren, and that's for a variety of reasons. Now, it's been said that 1 in 14 children is raised by his or her grandparents, and the parents are not present in the child's life. And this could be due to parents' death, addiction, abandonment, or, just being unfit parents. Many grandparents may need to go back to work or find additional sources of income to help raise their grandchildren. And then there are those who have pretty well managed their budgets really great and have been able to put away decent nest eggs. So they can just, take it up and it not really be a big deal. But it's good for both grandparent and grandchild because, well, grandparents are I mean, if you look at grandparents, they're considered historians. If you think about it, they are historians. They're a link to past generations, past knowledge, and past experiences that we may or may not ever see. Because, like I said, as much as things change, some of the things that happened in the past may not circle around and happen to us. So therefore, it makes grandparents historians. I mean, they're living a long time, and it's almost like transporting the children to the past through first-hand accounts of family history. As historians, grandparents tell their family story, giving grandchildren a sense of the past and creating awareness of family roots. They tell stories of themselves, their parents, as well as their grandparents. Some of the stories are funny, some are serious, and some are very insightful. Storytelling gives us a sense of history and connection. And in a family setting, you need that. But not only are grandparents historians, they're mentors. Creative grandparents are also mentors to their grandchildren. A lot of the grandparents nowadays have unique abilities and knowledge to share with their grandchildren. They know how to do things their grandchildren can't do. Or at least without some training and supervision. But creative grandparents are not only open to teaching their grandchildren these skills, they are also enthusiastic and willing to take the time necessary to share their knowledge and expertise with their grandchildren. And that's something that's really wonderful. It comes in handy. And it's very helpful, like I said, because to be honest, when you're a grandparent, and the children have left the nest and it's just kind of you and your husband, or just you, or whatever the case may be, you kind of go through the little empty nester. So when you have grandchildren and then you're taking care of them, it kind of keeps you awake. It keeps you alert. It keeps you on your toes, which can prolong life. It brings joy, so it lightens the mood. And it is exercise, which we all need. So as you can see, there are a variety of structures. There is no wrong or right answer when it comes to what is the best type of family structure, as long as a family is filled with love and support for one another. It tends to be successful, and they thrive. Families need to do what is best for each other and themselves, and that can be achieved in almost any unit. True enough, the basic structure of family has changed drastically, but it's still family and a family structure nonetheless. We even have childless families, and they kind of get looked over and not categorized into a type of family structure, but they are as well. Most people do think of family as including children, but there are couples who either cannot or choose not to have children. And the childless family is sometimes the forgotten family, as it does not meet the traditional standards set by society. Childless families consist of two partners living and working together. Many childless families take on the responsibility of pet ownership or have extensive contact with their nieces, nephews, or great nieces or great nephews. But they're family nonetheless. So take pride in whatever your family structure is. As long as you love unconditionally, you make time for family, you're there when they need you, and they're there when you need them, I think you have the greatest family in the world. So don't be ashamed. Don't be disappointed. Be happy, thankful, and just all out grateful for family. The family structure is important. it definitely helps to make you who you are today and who the children will later become. So, this has been your part 1 family structure of the family series. Stay tuned, and part 2 will be coming soon, and it is family health, also a part of the family series. So until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my talk show. I wish you the best and don't allow anyone to fuck up your vibe. I have been your host, Tony Williams.